Yeah, I'm about to put it on too. Yeah, I'm about to put it
County of Kings, really the Kingsborough. You know Crown Heights, so you know that sound right. Brooklyn Bridges, Z-Dub defended. The Brooklyn Block Party, clacks and double digits. Got the Barclays clicking, the whole block is with it. Up a lot on the table, now we coming to get it. The shook one's gone, we too Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
There you go. There you go.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting to score next. My kids all net, me and Jay just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Nation, watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. The stir that or Millie rock like a fan do. And that's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
You establish a culture, that's what you do every day. That creates one thing, that it's your identity. Alright, that's how you are seen by other people. If you work really hard.
Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. That was the I had it playing on my phone by mistake. Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog with my guy. This is JTV. I was right. Leaf is wrong. I just wanted to start the show saying that. But it's not about me and Leaf and just me being right and him being
wrong.
Wait,
did you see the stat about you being right?
What you mean?
They said anytime Halliburton
20 and
scored
1?
20 points and 10 assists, the Pacers got a 20-1 record in that. But you said he was going to score 20 plus.
Yeah. And I think again, I say what I say contingent on Rick Carlisle being an experienced head coach. He coached the Mavericks, you know what I'm saying, to win the championship. And now he in a situation where I observed what happened on the road. He see the impact Halliburton has. Halliburton didn't go crazy. He's still facilitating, but he did make more of an effort to be aggressive scoring the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the call from the coach. That was a coach's call.
I forgot which one of the announcers said it, but one of them said that he took more shots in the first half than he took through the first 3 quarters of the second game. So he just was intentionally being more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that was the main factor on why they won tonight's game. With him being more aggressive, people who not usually free up. Like
they defense though.
They
Can we
defense
shout
was
out TJ McConnell for a second? Did you see when he got the
pretty
steal
solid.
on the inbound and put it right back
Twice.
up to tie the game? Yo,
Twice.
TJ
No, the first
and
time I
look,
don't think he tied the game. The second time he tied the game.
and the crazy thing is that Leaf was telling me that Alex Caruso is so much better than TJ McConnell. And TJ McConnell, because
What?
remember I was saying it's like a battle of the whites. Which one of them is going to take over, either TJ or Alex? Know what I mean? Because both of them nice to me, but
Yeah.
like nah, Alex Caruso so much better than him, and this, that, and the third. TJ was coming in clutch today.
Hell yeah. Those bro, he had 4 assists early in the game, bro. And those 4 assists was off of steals. One of the assists was off of a steal that he off a steal. Then he seen Matherin cut into the paint. That play they got where TJ McConnell comes, he goes to the paint and he goes around because he too short to kind of go for the layup, but he just goes around and then they have
Mm-hmm.
a cutter coming from like the 3-point line to the basket. Bro, that shit
Mm-hmm.
is money, bro. That shit is pure
And
like gold. That
And I
shit
told you
real.
this series was a dad off, man.
Mhm.
It's Shea dad versus Halliburton dad. But I saw tonight TJ McConnell dad entered the chat, man. He was
Facts.
out there, he was out there heavy, you know what I mean?
I think that little things like uh Chet Holmgren being 0 for 6 is why they lost too. They needed Chet to space the floor. He had like 2 open 3-pointers, man. He missed. I thought overall he had a good game and he was a plus on the board for them. But at the end, Turner kind of slowed him down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Chet
Chet
got
did a
like
lot
two
of his
blocks. He
damage in
got
the first half.
Turner got like 2 blocks on Chet in the same play. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, bro, smothering defense.
But
Overall, it was a good game, though.
it was a great game. It was a great game. But I knew. And again, look at credit to Rick Carlisle once again. Look at the minutes and how they shared between the starters and the bench. Obi Toppin, he was a big factor in tonight's game. The box score don't say everything because he only had 8 points, but he had. I thought he had some big rebounds. I thought he had a big putback. I thought he had a big block.
The
You know, they,
rebound, the rebound putback that he got at the end of the game was the most impactful to me. Like that was
yeah,
like an explanation point because the OKC was hoping that rebound was coming to them, and he just slammed that shit hard. Boom.
okay,
Nah,
okay, yeah, okay. He
game
needed.
blouses.
Right. They needed that rebound when Obi-Wan got that shit. Because it was kind of like a back and forth situation, and then it kind of like opened up with Halliburton hitting that three. That's what I'm saying about Halliburton. He don't just, he's not just a box score scorer. Like his points matter. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm trying to say.
When
Like
you seen when Halliburton pulled the angel reach from the 3-point line, got his own rebound he got the
yeah,
me down from the 3-point line. I was
yeah,
like,
but no,
he just wanted more than them, man.
yeah, Shea was guarding him, and they did an instant replay, and the color commentators were saying like Shea, he stopped on the play. He just looked at the shot go up, but he wasn't trying to rebound it, like follow it. Tyrese Halliburton has made it known that he follows his shot. He followed his shot with the Knicks, got that shot. He followed that shot with the Cavs. He got that shot. Yo, he's made some great offensive rebounders in these playoffs, man.
Yo,
Very impressive from a guard too.
I was joking when I said it about Angel Reese, but if you taking a shot, you know if you about to miss short or miss long or whatever, so you got the best chance of getting the rebound because you know where it's about to go for real.
That's true. That's true. And just to before we throw the link in the chat, you got Miles Turner at 102.
What happened to the Halliburton lyrics? To what the Halliburton?
I was kind of joking with that
I
shit.
know. I was just joking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, nah, but I was gonna do it, and I looked at the lyrics. I did pull it up. Don't play with me. I did pull it up, but he only said in the outro.
at the end, it's just the outro.
Yeah, he said, "What the hell, Yante? What the hell, on? What the hell, Berry? What the hell, Burton?" I did actually pull it up. I see you, Net Press. You gotta know I'm already gonna throw the link in the chat. You gotta know that. Shout to Bra, shout to Iceman, shout to Woo Pig. Definitely want to hear from Woo Pig. Woo Pig really don't jump on the panel, but if you're not going to jump on the panel, at least be a little more active tonight. You know what I'm saying? I see you early in the chat. As I throw the lyrics on the screen, I gotta just do it one time just because I said I was.
Yo,
What the heliante? What the helion? What the heli berry? What the heli Burton? What the heli Braun James? What the heli Cyrus?
what
Man, what
the
the heli
what the
Birdie,
hell
man?
is Halliburton on? That's what we need to
He
know.
was he was one rebound shy of a triple double, bro. That's
Man,
that really is I wanted more than you.
I'm telling you,
He
bro. I'm telling
I'm
you.
saying they up 2-1, man. I'm surprised with Leaf at, man. It's quiet, man. What's
He
going on,
he
man?
he on Twitter hating on OKC now, saying that they all trash and skinny and bums. And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
they're not none of that. They could come back next game and get a win. It's just like it's basketball. The coaches is battling it out. And it's team. Because if you look at the game, to me, like if you watch OKC is doing a lot of ISO plays, you know what I mean? And you can
Yeah.
see that it looks like they got the most talented players on the floor. But when you watch Indiana play, they playing scrappy. The coach is making adjustments throughout the game to change to what
Facts.
OKC is doing. It's not just about having the most talent. So this is just a good series because I saw one play where Shea did some amazing shit, cut to the rim, went coast to coast, but he slowed it up. He at his own pace went to the rim, did some amazing shit. And then Halliburton pushed the ball up the floor so fast. Siakam got some nasty shit on the other side of the court, but it went in. But that shit was in 2 seconds. Like this nigga Shea was still celebrating what he just did, and they scored
Right.
again. Like y'all got the
Right.
ball back now. Like
Right. That's my favorite thing about the Pacers is that while you celebrating, the job not done. We're gonna go down the floor and we're gonna score while you celebrating. By the time you put up some fucking 3-point logo or whatever y'all like doing, we done scored the bucket. So there's really only 1 point, if that. So again, this team is relentless, and that's because of the coach. The coach is telling them that, like, yo, get a transition basket while they celebrate, and that's a 5-on-4. Get down court, score the ball. And again, before I throw the link in the chat, I just want to go over some specific things on why the Pacers won. The bench. The bench, bro. What do you want me to tell you, bro? The bench. Let's go to the bench points. Fast break points is very close, neck and neck. Total.
I just need to say that even though people be saying a lot of the shit that I be saying is crazy because I say it, I be right about a lot of this shit.
Bro, you ain't gotta tell me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell me. I think at the end of the day, it takes a lot for you to be, or for a person or content creator to be bold enough to go against the norm. I don't care that OKC had. You see, Leaf act like he ain't hear what I said about how the best record don't mean you win the finals because that's what happened to the Warriors.
Bro,
He
that's
act like
exactly
he.
why I recorded the shit when as soon as he was said, like, because, oh, wait, can you go to the shit on Twitter? Because I tagged you and him.
He
Like,
tagged me.
yeah, I recorded the shit on purpose, bro, because
Yeah,
it's like, bro, you about to say a bold statement that's probably hella wrong. So let me
right.
record it for later. Because
Mhm. Yeah, no, he was talking hella shit. And my thing is, it's good content. I don't never be tripping. But at the end of the day, again, I do want to be entertaining, but I've been wrong about my takes before, and it stings sometimes. So I'll be
everybody
trying to
could be
be
wrong.
accurate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I
Everybody could be wrong.
I felt like tonight that with all of the fans anticipating, they said that the fans been waiting 25 years for a finals matchup. So I knew that was going to be significant for game 3. And again, the Pacers have home court advantage. They won that third game, which solidified they got home court advantage. Pacers in 6. Woo Pig, where you at, man? I see you put one comment up there. Oh, he put more than one. He said, Benedict Bathroom was the real deal this game too. Hell yeah, it was cooking. I wish I had put some money on him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, Ben
Um,
definitely was doing his thing.
Word, Thunder in 6. He said we ain't going nowhere. How you feel about what he a Nets he a Thunder fan. How you feel about what he said, Jay? Thunder in
I
6.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I feel like they could regroup. Chet gotta really lock in. And what I was saying during the game is they need to stop treating Chet like he Hartenstein and like he motherfucking Nick Claxton or somebody. Not to say it like that, Nick, but Chet
Yeah.
is fucking KD, man. You gotta let Chet go out there and work sometimes, man. You gotta let him
Yeah.
get to the midi, do his thing. Can't just have him doing putbacks and fucking like you got to let him work sometimes, and I understand you want to let Williams work, but let Chet work too. And I feel like
Yeah.
that'll catch the Pacers off guard if they do some of that because they just got him being a regular slashing big man, and he more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chet
I
is
think it's
Chet a scorer.
yeah, he is scorer for sure. Again, maybe they don't know how to play together to the extent like a duo, and that's what I was trying to say about teams that got chemistry and teams that got talent and chemistry. There's teams that um sometimes have either or. I think both teams have both, but it goes to show what's happening. And I didn't think that the conclusion of this game would be more than a double digit situation. I figured it'd be a single digit game. It barely was, but it was. But it goes to show that, you know, listen, as much as the defense on the Thunder is supposed to be stifling, 40 points stand out for me. You know what I'm saying? 40 points is a big deal. You know what I mean? And in the 32 in the fourth quarter, bro,
But
you know what
look,
I'm saying? That's a lot of points.
I did see that the Thunder defense was stifling at times in this game. It's just the Pacers just keep going and going and going and going. So it's like even if you stopping them now, you got to keep that up for the whole game.
48 minutes minimum. You know what I'm saying? And then in those tight games, bro, it's hard to win on the road, man. And again, that's why
And the
it was
Pacers
nothing.
was the one playing the great defense in the clutch, getting mad turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
making them throw the ball out of bounds. Like I didn't like all the fouling in the in the clutch minutes, but at today defense, OKC was missing their foul shots. So if
Yeah.
they missing the foul shots, fuck it.
Yeah. At the time they had mentioned that they missed 6 free throws, Jay, they was down by 6. I said, damn.
Yo,
And what
bro.
I realized too, Jay, is that these teams sometimes they play too similar, like predictable. In a sense where if they get down by 6 points, that's 3 times 2. They're gonna try to hit 2 3 pointers, and that's what they do. It's like they just abandon the 2 pointer as soon as they go down, and I think that's the difference between the Pacers and OKC.
Yo,
OKC, there was times where they could have just kept attacking the basket. They kept trying to tie, trying to knock down the three. And for what it's worth, I'm not gonna lie, that three by Dort, you want to go to him. He was 5 for 5 before he missed his first 3 pointer. I mean, shit. You
yo,
know what I mean? That's not
it's
a bad call.
Bro,
But
there's no
he missed.
reason NBA players should be missing free throws, bro. Like, I go to the park and I practice free throws just so I could talk shit to NBA players. There's no reason you should be missing free throws if I don't be missing them. Know what I mean? And I challenge Mitchell Robinson to a free throw contest. Know what I mean? What's up? Know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you should not be missing free throws. Them shits is free points. Nobody is guarding you. The rim don't move. It been the same place it been the whole game.
Hmm.
You should be able to make a free throw. Two of them.
Yeah. Yeah. When I went to the park earlier, I was working on my free throw. And I like working on my free throw when I go to the park because I ain't got to chase the rebound mad for when I'm by myself or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Nah,
Because,
nah. You got to run after them rebounds. You got to get the cardio up, man.
yeah,
That's part of the workout.
yeah, sometime. Sometime I'll be cool with that shit. Sometimes I just be willing to take the jumper. I mean the free throws. But
Yeah.
I do make that part of the workout because it is about cardio too,
Nah,
for
that's a fact.
real. Um,
I,
but
I
nah,
hit
what you gonna
20
say?
free throws before I hit 53s earlier, man. That's what I was doing, man.
Okay, okay. Let's see if we could get some other fans up on the panel, see what they think about what's going on. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I want to hear some respect being put on their name and respect my handle too. You know what I'm saying? Especially Leaf. He like, yo, you love arguing with me, talking about yo, that's bullshit, and you don't know what you're talking about, and this and that. Like, yo,
Right.
respect my
And
handle, bro.
I've been
Like,
telling them about OKC all year. So if I've been telling you about OKC, why you can't listen when I'm still telling you about OKC?
you're serious, man. That's all I'm saying. Respect my handle, bro. You see how I give it up. You see, I'm not scared to be wrong. I'm gonna talk my shit. And I
And
was just right tonight. That's all.
and me personally, I'm still not saying the Pacers are gonna win this series. I'm just saying they could. I was just saying that it wasn't gonna be no sweep, it wasn't gonna be no
Hell no.
manhandling of the Pacers. Like people were
Nope.
saying, OKC and Ford, it's not gonna be competitive at all. I was like, that is total bullshit. That was my
Facts.
stance.
Yeah, and I agree. I thought this was going 6 or 7, and as of now, I want to stand on that. I just think that it's going to be Pacers is 6 or 7. I just don't.
I hope it goes 7. And I just like rooting for the underdog. So I agree with you. I want to see the Pacers win, but I think OKC is just a more talented team.
Yeah,
But
even
the
I think
coaching mean a lot too.
that's what my point was. I think Carlisle's a better coach, not so much because from a big margin, but just the experience. Like I've
Hmm.
been here,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like you haven't been here, so I might have little things that you might have missed. I'm attentive to detail,
Bro,
so I
they
might I might say and do things with my team that you might have missed because I just got the experience. You know what I'm saying? So
they
I think
had
some of that is
7
happening
different
too.
defenders on Shea, bro. 7
Hmm.
different defenders. So you gotta think about how to score on 7 different people. Plus they throwing different doubles at you. Bro, it Carlisle is out there doing his thing, man. Need to need to salute that.
So before we go around the panel, I gotta say, if I had to stand on a square, I'm gonna say Pacers in 6. I think Pacers in 6, man. Pacers in 6, but maybe 7. But
If I had
Pacers.
if I had to really say something, and it's gonna sound fucked up, but I probably would say Pacers in 5, just because. Well, I guess you said 6, but 5 or 6 because they finished everybody else off in 5 or 6. So that's what it's been seeming to be in the playoffs. They finished the first series in 5, second series in 5. So this might be 5 too. After winning the first game, that's kind of how they've been doing these series.
Now, all facts, all facts. Shout out to This Is JTV. Subscribe to This Is JTV on YouTube. And he got a show on Tuesdays at 9. I call it Different Show with D Rock Obama. Dope show. I'll be in the chat heavy. Y'all might see me on the panel on there too. But
Word.
yeah, I'll be
Every
in the
week
chat
it's a
heavy.
different show, man.
One of my favorite shows by far. Shout out to This Is JTV. Yeah, man, we was right 2-1 Paces right now. We gonna go to everything booking list. John, what you seen out there, man? Talk to us.
And great to be on the show, guys. Listen, shout out to the Pacers. They put everything into tonight. It was not perfect, but it was definitely flawless effort by almost every player that showed up on the court. The fans were locked in. Caitlin Clark was doing the choke sign. Like you could just tell the atmosphere that they've built over the last few years in that arena. It's special right now. And I think for the Pacers, I said this to you, Breeze, before the series began. What do the Pacers have to do? Get one in OKC, get one at home. Now with this game 4, which is probably the most important one in Pacers history right now, you got to have that same energy because I think they only have a day of rest, right? So you're really going to see who really does have the gas in the tank to push forward. And I just think the Pacers tonight, they were pushing full throttle no matter what. And you got to give it to everybody. I mean, Halliburton, near triple-double. Pascal Siakam, another solid game. Miles Turner had the flu, apparently, some type of flu bug, played really well. Benedict Mathurin, I said I've been waiting for that kid to have a really defining playoff game, and to do it in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, that kid was excellent tonight. And then Obi Toppin, T.J. McConnell, a total pest. That guy has been just such great effort on his part as well. Everybody that showed up on the Pacers tonight gave incredible effort, and they just were able to slow down OKC, especially in that fourth quarter. So I give it all props to them because they're really playing with a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and I call their motto ruthless resiliency. That is what the Pacers are playing with right now. And if they somehow could pull off the unexpected, I think the NBA front office, each and every one that's eat some humble pie and acknowledge that small market teams can get it done and they don't have to buck the system for certain teams to get top picks. So if they do pull this off, and I would say this as well, Tyrese Halliburton might deserve the rank of superstar if he can pull this off. So I think Game 4 is going to be super important for the Pacers, but if they play with the same heart, intensity, and energy tonight, anything is freaking possible for this team.
Facts. Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets John. I kind of concur with a lot of stuff that he said. I really got no pushback on what he said. That was just a dope
Thanks,
take.
Breeze.
Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets John. If y'all want to find Nets content, y'all can see him on X or Twitter. You know what I mean? He's there. He does a lot of consistent content. He's there every day.
Appreciate it.
It's all good. Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets John. We're gonna go to Nets Press. We got Dylan on the panel with us. Just let them know I'm saying your credentials and all of that, and then we can get to it.
Yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram at NetsPress. You can find me on Twitter as well at NetsPressIG. And then we'll be going live again tomorrow on the BK Nothing But Nets podcast over on YouTube. So if you want, feel free to follow over there.
What time?
Well, we should be going live around 11:15 in the morning.
All right, copy that. Yeah, what you doing? Did you see the game today? What you doing?
Yeah, no, it was a really good game. I was an assist and 3 rebounds from TJ McConnell shy of winning $785 off a $5 bet. So a bit disappointed, but we'll be back at it when they play next. So
yeah, I lost my bet too. I had my parlay. I had Pacers winning, but I missed out on like a few things, man. But you're not alone. I just said that to say, man, you're in a safe place, man. We care, man.
Yeah, man, it is rough out here. What's funny too is I'm a big Benedict Mathurin better, and today I decided to not bet his 15 plus points, which was at a plus 480 when I was looking at it. So if I would have just subbed out that for all the McConnell props, it would have hit, unfortunately. But shit happens. We'll get back to the drawing board. Yep, we'll get back to the drawing board. But yeah, it was a really good game. I had a friend over who is a diehard Thunder fan, so he left my house miserable. Yes, they exist, surprisingly. But yeah, it was a great game. I still got Thunder in 7. I think that they'll end up figuring it out. They really haven't had a game yet where their trio has played up to par with one another. So I'm kind of SGA today was probably the biggest loser of the night in terms of who costed them that win. 6 turnovers, not as efficient as he usually is, was really not visible in the fourth quarter. So there's some adjustments to be made for them. But I've been saying this now for well over a year. If the Thunder are serious about trying to compete for titles, they need to stop hoarding picks and hoarding youth. Youth does not win championships. If you go back a couple of years and look at the Celtics versus Warriors series, the Celtics were by far the better team, and the Warriors won based on experience. You can't win championships without veteran experience. So I'm expecting OKC to start shopping and looking into some of these veteran guys, somebody like Cam Johnson or along those lines, because you're not going to win championships with 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds coming off your bench playing limited minutes. It's not going to work out. And you also have Nikola Topic coming, who was their lottery pick this past season, who didn't play the entire season, so he'll be back next year. There's just too much youth crowding that bench, not enough guys who are ready to win now. So if they're serious about winning, they need to start making moves.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Okay, OKC in 7. That's what I'm looking for. I want to hear all y'all soliloquies, and I want to hear what y'all got. So we got me and Jay got the Pacers in 7. Everything Brooklyn Nets, John. What'd you say, John?
I would say Pacers in 6 or 7 at this point.
Okay, Pacers in 6 or 7. Dylan said OKC and 7. We're gonna come back to Dylan after we go around the panel because I want to hear some of those scenarios with all of the draft capital that the Thunder got, which is a lot of draft capital if y'all don't know. We're gonna go to Bri. Bri, talk to us, man. You watched tonight's game?
Yeah, that boy TJ McConnell, bro. boy was hustling. He had 5 steals. He had like
Yeah.
4 assists early in the game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then
He did.
my friend just had a legacy game. He went crazy.
Yeah,
Went
9
shot
for
9 for
12.
12.
Yeah.
Tyrese
22
Halliburton,
minutes.
bro. Tyrese Halliburton needs more respect, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
So still doesn't get
Oh shit.
enough respect.
But why do you think he get that underrated? I mean that overrated look. Why you think that is though, bro?
Sometimes he has off games, and like his game is low key. Like he doesn't really have a bag to his game. They be saying. I don't know really how, but
No, man, he a great facilitator, and he got that float game. So
Yeah, that
I'm a
floater is
fan of
money.
Halliburton. Yeah, I'm a fan of Halliburton, man. I don't really see why they be knocking dude. Maybe they feel like he could be more aggressive, but I think he's more of a point guard than a scoring guard. But he can score. It's just like preference, I guess. 22 and 11 with how many? He had 4 turnovers. I'm still taking that.
Miles
Shoot, you
Turner
got
though.
11. Miles, what you thought about him? 3 for
Miles
11.
Turner play low key, man. He like I don't know what happened today. He didn't really play that good today. And then OKC should probably start
He had
Caruso,
5
in my
blocks
opinion.
though. Bruh, he had 5 blocks. He wasn't really good on the offensive side of the ball, but he had 5 blocks, bro.
Them blacks definitely came in clutch times too.
Yeah, it
Is
came
it
in.
yo? Is it fair to say that he slowed Shet down in the second half?
Chet?
Because Shet had like 13 in the first half. He had 12 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
He was
Chet
going off.
I don't know what happened in the second half.
Miles Turner happened.
And then
Obi Toppin happened.
Shea had 6 turnovers.
I don't like him. Oh, and that was another
OKC should
thing that
start
the color.
Caruso, bro.
Yeah, that's another thing the color commentators were saying too. They said right now, as of now, the OKC got more turnovers than points. It was early in I think the third quarter. And they only had like 2 field goals or something. And they had like 4 turnovers, and that's when TJ was going off, just stealing the ball and all of that.
The starters don't even got to go crazy for the Pacers. The Pacers bench got to do it themselves, and they still win, bro.
But overall, do you think this is an exciting finals, Brad? Do you think this is a good finals?
Yeah, this is probably one of the best finals in a minute, in my opinion. It's one of the closest finals in a minute.
Okay, how you gonna call it? How you calling it for the series? What you think gonna happen?
I got Pacers in 7.
It's tough. Damn, but Pacers in 7 mean they would win on a roll. You think they could win a game 7 in OKC?
They gotta go. I mean, yeah, they already showed it before.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That should be crazy. And I feel like if they win it, it'll be some shit like that Kawhi shot.
Halliburton,
Winning
bro.
that shit game 7.
Halliburton gonna do it, bro.
Right.
He's already done it.
If it's one
4
man who
times.
could do it, it's
Halliburton gonna seal
Halliburton.
it.
Word, nah, that's true shit. Shout to Bra. We finna mix it up soon, but we got Ice and Notorious on a panel. Wanted to get the take on tonight's game. Ice, did you do the play-by-play on TikTok?
Yo, I was live with Brian. You know what I'm saying? We was over there chillaxing. You heard?
All right. She wasn't. So y'all must not be Thunder fans, because if you're a Thunder fan, you can't be chillaxing at all.
Yo, nah,
You
they
gotta
had
be.
some Thunder fans in there. You know, I got all the fans over there. Thunder fans, you know what I'm saying? They pull up on the panel.
So what you thought about tonight's game?
You know, it was a good game, bro. Good game. Right? Pacers showed out. Halliburton leaving his stamp in every playoff game, every playoff series. My dude leaving a stamp, something serious. Almost had a triple double.
One rebound shy of it.
Yeah, like Brian said, TJ came out with some fire today. You know what I mean? TJ
making his father proud.
TJ was out there hooping. You know what I'm saying? And then The thing I think with OKC that they got to figure out, I think Shea has to figure it out. The Timberwolves did the same thing to him. I think it was the second game of the Timberwolves. The second game they played the Timberwolves. They trapped him right after he got past half court. He had trouble with that. Pick and roll with the OKC Thunder. They have trouble guarding the pick and roll for whatever reason. The Timberwolves did the same thing to them. Pick and roll all the time. That gave them trouble. Even though they won that series, those are two things that gave them trouble in that series. And the Pacers are doing the same thing, but the Pacers' pace is way different and their style is different. So I think, just like Dylan said, it's going to take them a while to figure out. They changed up a little bit of things today, and I think OKC ain't figure it out, and they got in foul trouble early. Some of their players, you know what I mean? And I think that changed the game for them.
Yeah, one of the things that I think that OKC is going to lose far as offense is concerned is because in the finals matchup, I mean, if you got to beat one team 4 times and you playing them more than 4 times, you kind of become not redundant, but I expect it. I know what to expect from you. You know what I'm saying? And that on that note, Ice, I feel like where they miss out, and listen, let me just give a disclaimer. I only know this because of the podcast that I used to do. You know, KVN who run the city. Let me show y'all I got on the Nets jersey, man. So I don't want y'all to think I'm some Knick fan on the low or some shit like this. You know what I mean? But let me show y'all the jersey. Y'all see the jersey? Listen, the pick and roll between Brunson and Hartenstein is the reason why I used to sting Knick fans. And I say, yo, wait till Shea get Hartenstein. Watch they do the pick and roll. I'm looking for it. They don't do it. Hartenstein, he was 2 for 3. They don't get the Hartenstein with the pick and roll like a bread and butter. They don't do it. It's not in their offense. And they don't. And when I say, you know what to expect from them, like one dimensional, it's because, yo, I see you, Easy. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. It's because they don't do that pick and roll, and there's no interior scoring for real. All of their scoring is coming downhill from Jalen Williams. Maybe they'll kick, drive, and kick, and find a shooter in the corner. But just the interior offense, they don't utilize Hartenstein, and that's why they don't have that advantage over, you know what I'm saying, Pascal Siakam or Miles Turner. You know, I think Hartenstein is a 7-footer, Ice. How you don't got Hartenstein putting Turner on the post? How you ain't got Hartenstein? You feel what I'm saying? Putting Siakam on the post, trying to get him in foul trouble. But it is what it is.
Different strategies. They not strategizing. They, like you said, they sticking with their SGA and Jalen Williams. You know what I'm saying? Let them do the damage they do, and everybody else fill in where they can fill in. You know what I mean?
Shit, crazy, bro. But yeah, man, Iceman, let the fans know where you be at. You know what I'm saying? Your content is live, man. I fuck with your lives. You already know that.
Yeah, right. You can find me on Look, right? I'm everywhere, but TikTok, I'm heavy there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
I'm like, out here.
I like that.
Put that on a t-shirt, Ice.
You're right. You're all heavy there on TikTok. So yeah, follow me on TikTok. The tip off for Brooklyn Next podcast. You heard?
I appreciate that. And also, man, all of the content creators that jump on this page is way easier if y'all just throw y'all link in the chat. Y'all hear enough, y'all on the panel enough. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna introduce y'all and all of that, but we all trying to come up, man. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Easy. He said Brooklyn in the house. I threw the link in the chat. You already. But go ahead, Ice. Just from your perspective, what you thought about tonight, then just pass it to Joey Notorious.
Nah, Joey, I could pass the rock. Go ahead, Joey.
What's up, man?
What up, Notorious?
Yeah, not much. I thought OKC was gonna win tonight. They didn't, but I still expect them to win the series. I think what stands out to me is Chet. Chet needs to get more involved. He needs to do more. I think he's having trouble, man. When he's guarding. When Turner and them are guarding him, he can't really get his shit off like that. It looks like that front court is giving him trouble. It looks to me like Indiana with Pascal and Turner might have the upper hand in the front court. They went in the battle of the front court between Hartenstein and Chet. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Jay Will is doing his part, but again, like I said, once Shaw gets trapped and they throwing all these traps at him, he got to rely on his teammates and mainly Jalen and Chet to pick up that load. Um, I was in here a couple episodes ago and somebody was telling me or tried to debate me about um what's the dude's name? Schroeder being better than TJ McConnell. I don't know who it
What?
was.
What?
Yes, but they kept saying no. Schroeder is better than TJ McConnell. I would take TJ McConnell any day over Schroeder because he is the steady hand. I'm telling you, Schroeder's better. He do more. He got more in his back. That's cool. But tonight shows you why I would take TJ McConnell over Schroeder. I mean, granted, he's like not no crazy superstar point guard, but the guy just knows how to win. He knows how to play solid basketball, and you
Sure
can
shit.
depend on him. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah,
But
and I like that debate, man. But I don't wanna get caught up on that shit because they
nah,
both good players.
I'm gonna leave it
See,
alone.
and I kind of want TJ to just do his thing, man. The job not done, man. They really close. I would be happy for the Pacers if they win the championship. I would be happy for the Thunder if they won the
But
championship. As a fan, I feel like I already won. Notorious is two teams that
yeah,
never been to the won an NBA championship competing for one. Do you think the fans won with that, Notorious? Do you think the fans won with two teams
absolutely.
that?
Well, let's all the basketball purists one with that. Listen, man,
Mm,
all these people with these Stan fan pages and all these big market teams like the Laker fans crying on X and social media every day talking about ratings and why they team should have been in the NBA finals. Like, listen, you don't deserve to be in the NBA finals because you got a popular franchise. You got to earn that shit. I don't know where y'all
Facts.
get this shit that because y'all the Lakers or y'all the Celtics or y'all got a lot of fans that y'all deserve to be in the finals because of ratings. No, it don't work like that. The Pacers and OKC earned that shit.
thank you.
Stop being
Talk
Thank
show.
soy boy fanboys and just enjoy the art of the game and enjoy the finals for what it is.
Facts. Facts. And I agree with you because you get a team like OKC. It's Wu Pig. It's another dude. I think his name third time's a charm. It's like
Right.
okay, there are OKC fans on the internet on YouTube. We might not have known of them, but they got fans of these small market teams. They probably not content creators like Laker fans. Like when you think of the content creators that's on and doing sports, in my algorithm, there's Nets content creators. There's there's no Pacer content creators. I know a Toronto content creator, a Laker content creator. There's Nick content creators. There's Celtic content creators. Just like the big market teams. My point. When it come down to the small market teams or teams that never won a championship, you don't really see them content creators. You
Word.
feel what I'm
But bro,
saying?
even I seen the Minnesota the Minnesota and Knicks finals with a fat family. I don't know what this is. Da 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 da. I'm like, man, y'all some haters, man.
Yeah, but
Let
I
them
was
be.
trying to
Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to say that to say they will become content creators. You know what I'm saying? That's how you grow the fan base. You don't just, if you're a founding, it's the arrogance of a fan of a founding team. Like they could speak that way because their team is founding teams. Like the NBA started with these teams, so they got a
Yeah, but
certain
certain
type of
fan
fan
bases
base.
don't want other teams to grow their fan base. They want to continue to brag about how many fans they got, like Knicks fans and shit, and Laker fans about how many fans they got. Oh, OKC ain't got no fans. I never seen an OKC fan. Like they don't care, bro. Most these people casuals, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, yeah, yo, whoa, you gotta. I'm gonna keep it all the way told you, bro. You gotta say how that the Thunder gonna win because the panel right now saying that the Pacers is gonna win. You got with seven of us, like five of us feel like the Pacers is gonna win. You just saying that they're gonna win, but how? You know what I'm saying? How are they supposed to do that? How are they supposed to beat the Pacers in game 4 on the road when they couldn't beat them in game 3 and
You
they
talking?
lost the game? I'm
You
talking to
talking to
Woo
me?
Pig. No, not you. Woo
Oh,
Pig.
okay. My bad.
Woo Pig, he a Thunder fan, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of, he really don't jump on the panel, that which is cool.
But I
But
got the Thunder.
You got so all right. So why? Yeah, then you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, why you think
I
the
think
Thunder
they're
gonna
gonna.
win? How are they supposed to beat the Pacers on the road? I gotta know.
I mean, they can do it, bro. I just think they're still the most talented team. Like I said, they will figure it out. Dylan said it too. They're gonna figure it out, bro. You got to understand the
What
finals
about the bench? Like I hear y'all with the philosophy shit, but what about the bench? The Indiana Pacer bench is whooping the Pacers. I mean the Thunder bench ass.
absolutely,
Just
I agree.
Very
so
valid
what?
point.
Like so what's going to happen on the bench different for the Thunder for them to be effective when Shea go to the bench? When Jalen Williams go to the bench, you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep Jalen Williams on the floor when Shea go to the bench, which is smart.
I can
But
tell you. I can
they
definitely tell
both
you.
starters though. You see what I'm saying? What up though, Ice? Oh,
Yo,
there go
both.
Wool Peg. What up, Wool Peg?
Yo, 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 what's that word? What's that word, man?
B, my
Chilling,
guy,
chilling.
what's
It's the
good,
first
B?
time for everything, bro.
What's
Ice,
good,
First
what's
time
B?
for
nice?
everything, man. I figured I'd jump in here real quick, man. You
Yo,
say you need an
B.
explanation.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. What the hell are y'all there? What up, bro?
Yeah, man. Nothing much, man. I've been saying Thunder in six, bro. My stance don't change on it, man. Um, for what I seen today, man, they were just that third that 4 minute mark between the third quarter and the fourth quarter is so critical, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just our inexperience, man. Um, I think we're gonna have to come out a little bit more physical like we did game two,
Mm.
that first quarter. But man, Indiana had it rocking today, man. Indiana had it rocking. And I think J Dub, man, he got to assert his dominance a little earlier in the game. But I said that Indiana Pacers depth is I wouldn't say it's to be feared, but it's legit, man. It's legit.
So
So,
what
but
about Wool
I
Peg? What about
appreciate y'all having me up here, man, for sure.
yeah, nah, it's all good. I just wanted to ask, like, what about what's his name? I don't know these players. Andrew Wiggins, he scored like 17 the other game, and then what happened with him tonight? Was he quiet? It seemed like he was more quiet than anything. What
Yeah,
he
I think it's just he couldn't really find the rhythm, bro. I don't think he really
zero for
could
two?
find the
He
rhythm.
only took two. But bro,
Yeah,
why would
only
they
two
only let him
shots.
take two shots? Two, only two?
I
Like,
I don't know. I think, and that's why I think we got. I think we also got out coached, man. They had a healthy
mhm.
rotation. Um, I think we got to play a little bit more Isaiah Joe. He gave us 6 points off of two solid possessions, and then it was like he
Word.
was unheard of. So I
Mm,
think we got to implement. We got to implement our bench just as more as they, just as well as they implement their bench. So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we see it. I think we see a
Yo,
healthier rotation. I'll go
I'm
ahead.
listening to you. Wu. No, I'm listening to
I,
you. Wu. I was just going to add to what you were saying. Go ahead, though.
No, I think we gotta implement our rotation, which we did, but we gotta have a healthier rotation, just as well as Indiana has. And yeah, just watch our shots fall, man. They forced us to pick the ball up, and that kind of got us second guessing our offense. So that's kind of what I seen tonight. I think we come out a little bit more physical, game two. They're gonna let us play. Like I said, I think we bounced back game four.
Yeah, you kind of the box score is consistent with Wolf said. What Wolf said, the box score say the same exact thing. They really didn't get nothing off their bench, and it's sad. It is being out coached. I mean, you got a guy like Isaiah Joe playing 4 minutes and getting 6 points. He got
Right,
6 points in 4 minutes, and he's
right.
2 for 2, and he don't get no run.
Yeah,
Don't forget, they also got Terrence Williams, Usman Dieng not doing anything either. Like that, they really Sam Presti. If they don't win this year, you got to look back at the trade deadline. Did they really? If they really played super safe, or they should have been aggressive, they probably could have been aggressive to get a piece or
No,
two.
but they're
Add
not
to that
even
bench.
playing their guys. It's not like Aaron Wiggins is. I mean, it's not like they got nobody off of the bench. If this guy's and we in the finals and you got 4 minutes in the game, you score 6 points. I'm not. I'm gonna keep having you shoot the ball until you miss a shot, at
right.
least.
the thing is with them, right? The benches matches up evenly. It's just what bench does what on what game. Because I looked at the points. It's only like 2 points difference or 3 points difference between the benches. Like average scoring is like 3 points difference. So I think
tonight.
yeah, not tonight. But I think what I'm saying is right. The matchup, OKC trying to find out what works, and in doing so, you know what I'm saying, the Pacers taking advantage and finding out that they bench works. You know what I'm saying? They players work on this night. So I
Yo,
think
Ice.
it's probably a matchup for them. Yeah.
Ice, the peep game, Ice. Hold on. Shout out to Lucky T. I see you in the chat. Shout out to JP Liberty. I see you in the chat. Look, Ice, peep game, bro. They benched the Oklahoma City Thunder. They scored 14. No, I'm sorry, 12. They scored 18 points in total. That's how many points they scored. So let's just stick to the facts, not our opinions. That's 18 points. The Pacers bench scored 37 plus that's 45, 49 points, 49 to 18, bro. That is the story of the game, bro.
No, not tonight. I'm not saying tonight. In average, both benches average around the same points. So you had Indiana having a good night, basically. Indiana had a good night tonight, basically.
Kurt the Flirt, I see you in the chat. But who do the Thunder go to off of the bench more? Like TJ McConnell is off the bench and he's a household name.
Facts.
Right.
Like who the hell is a household name off the bench on the Thunder?
Well, I don't think it's more.
Who's the sixth man?
Caruso. Yeah, I got Caruso.
I don't. Well, we've implemented Caruso. Well, yeah. I mean, but I feel like Caruso could help us more off. Into that starting five now, man. Especially if we want to run these guys off the 3-point line. But like I say, I don't think we have just that household name. It's kind of win by committee. But I think if we implement guys like Kenrich Williams, he can give you some healthy minutes. Jalen Williams, like he can extend the court out and can also bang down low. You know what I'm saying, with Miles Turner. But it's just
Kenrich
like I say, knowing when to plug and play these guys.
Nah, Kenrich Williams ain't doing nothing, bro.
These guys, man.
I don't know how Kenrich Williams got a contract like he got, but man, he must have some power over Sam Presti, man, because that guy's not going to help you. They should have upgraded at that position with him.
Yo, and also another thing is just to keep it with the minutes. If we did the math to that, in total, the bench minutes is just trying to do quick mental math. That's what 50, 65, 68. That's 80, 90. Bro, come on, bro. That's how many minutes compared to what's they bench? How many minutes they played on their bench? They played this easy math. 20. Caruso had a bunch of minutes, 32, we make it 52. Then what? 56, 66, bro. It's you're not gonna beat the Pacers like that, bro. So you got the pay, or the difference is that the players that Pacers is putting on the floor, they had 100%. The Thunder, they playing with will, passion, and determination. They got to think about rent and bills to pay. You know what I mean? So they just doing the best that they got.
The Thunder don't got a bench though. The Thunder got bench pieces,
bro. The coach not playing them.
They got Wiggins. They got Dort. They got Williams. What's Kevon Williams? What is his name?
Dort.
Kendrick Williams.
Yeah, Kendrick Williams. My bad. I mean, they got pieces, man. They got the other J. Well, the other J Williams he don't play, but Caruso. I mean, they got bench.
No, they shouldn't have tweaked the rotation beginning. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, I get why I get why they add Case and Wallace to their starting five. Like I say, to kind of run them off that perimeter. But they were getting to their mid range. They were hitting that floater all game. I think if you got to ask guys like Hartenstein and Shet to step up, step up towards that elbow area in the mid range to kind of alleviate that. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, to y'all point, that our bench production got to be a lot better. And we gotta get into like I said from game 2, we gotta get into our offense a little faster, man. So it's all this stuff is fixable. I think you see a better squad at game 4. I say we go out and roll the ball and roll the ball out and see who, you know what I'm saying, see who wins.
Hey, I didn't like the starting five y'all put out there. That starting five was funky, man.
Yeah, I don't know why they tweaked it. They actually with both the big men, they're like a +8. Getting away from that is hurt the OKC because
Exactly,
they've
John.
gotten outbeaten on second chance points by Pacers.
Why isn't Chet and
Yeah.
Hartenstein starting together? I just don't
Yeah,
understand. But
All right, talk about that, B, because you know we talked about it on TikTok. Go ahead and tell them why that
Yeah,
is.
I think it's more so one gives you that interior presence, and then Shet gives you that presence off the dribble more so. Um, I think, like I said, I think that's something we would like to see, but us getting in foul trouble early, that's what kind of dinged us. And then
right.
us kind of trying to, Shet kind of trying to pick up the load interior in the interior, and then trying to, what I'm saying,
right.
operate through the perimeter. That kind of, like I said, that kind of threw us off a little
To
bit, man.
to me, I think your best starting lineup is with Hartenstein, Chet,
Mhm.
and you put Caruso in the backcourt with SGA.
Ooh,
That's
ooh,
what
I
you're
Right.
like that.
supposed to
I
do.
like that.
Bro,
Yo,
who
Joey.
the small
Well,
forward?
well,
Jalen
see,
Williams.
well, see,
Yes.
Okay.
but see, Lou still like our Swiss Army knife. He's still like our Swiss Army knife if shots are falling for him. The moment we don't see shots falling for Lou Dort, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of obsolete
Yeah,
from
but
the,
I think
Right.
Caruso can do everything Lou Dort can do and better.
Yes. Yo, facts,
Right,
Joey.
right.
Facts.
So Lou Dort, I love Lou Dort, but for real, Lou Dort is a six man. He's a six man at best. Like
He should
Lou
be their
Dort,
six man.
Right.
I was gonna ask Wu,
yeah,
who's your six man on the team? I think
like
OC needs to put Lou
Caruso.
Dort in that
You don't
bench role
understand.
for
Caruso
them.
takes so much pressure off of SGA too because he doesn't have to carry the defensive load
Right.
for the
Hmm.
best guard or the best player in the backcourt. You feel what I'm saying? Um, you
So
got Edge.
who been starting for most of the season? I just wanted to ask that, Jay. Notorious. Dort start more than Caruso, or is it the other way around?
Bro, you gotta ask
Uh,
the
I
Thunder
think, I
fan because
think, well, I haven't really.
He a Thunder fan. Wu a Thunder fan.
Yeah. I haven't really been checking my guys out, man. Until really like I haven't been able to really just sit down and watch them until postseason. But I think I had to say I think we've
Dort
been
started
having
more
Oh,
than
Lou Dort.
I
Caruso.
got you. I got you. I'm
Dort
looking
Yeah,
at it
started more
right
than
now.
Caruso. Dort
Yeah,
started more than Caruso.
Dort, 71 out of 71
Yeah,
games,
Dort
71 out
started
of
a lot
82
more.
games. So yeah, Caruso,
yeah.
he coming off that bench for sure. But so easy, I heard you say that. What y'all think? Y'all think that Dort should like do what Tibbs did with Josh Hart? Like we gonna sit you, we gonna come off the bench and then you know what I'm saying? We
I
gonna
don't think Lou
play.
Dort the problem. I don't think Lou Dort the problem, but I don't think Lou Dort the problem. But
How you
I don't
go?
want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt the count because y'all was cooking right now. I was just really listening. I
I
really
just don't
Easy.
I
appreciate this
just don't
convo.
understand how
Shout out to
Lou Dort
Easy on the
is
panel.
starting
What's the word, Ease?
What's the
how
word,
I hope
John?
y'all
how
tap
Lou
the like
Dort is
button on the channel.
How the wheels roll. Brooklyn in
how
the
Lou
house.
Dort is. Can anybody answer that? Like, why is Lou Dort um starting over Caruso when Caruso is better than him?
Yeah, nah, it's
Mm.
not about being
Well,
better, right? For their team, they had that, like he said, they had that lineup, right? And now that he got traded and he's over there, and you know what I'm saying, they got to figure it out while he's there. Even though he could be better, but that's who they bringing off the bench. You know what I mean?
well,
And Lou been a starter, so they got to figure that out. Go ahead. Woo.
well, I think to that point, I think Lou give you much. He give you much more. A much more of a presence around the perimeter. While Caruso, he more like an interchangeable piece. Like you can switch him 1 through 3. So like I said, I think that's kind of the difference between the two. But like you say, like y'all saying, I think you'd rather have a interchangeable piece in your starting five, and then kind of implement Dort around that, to cause havoc
Exactly.
around that perimeter, man. So I
If they
I
say
make
think
that, if they make that adjustment for the next game, I think OKC has a chance. But if they stick with the same thing, I think like Breezy said, man, it's not that they're redundant, but if Shea isn't dropping like 30 points a game with the Pacers, you don't know who's going to drop all the points. So I think if they could lock him down the next game, it's going to be hard to stop the Pacers unless OKC makes the adjustments. Put Dort off the bench, start Caruso, and like you said, get the two big man thing back. That was working. I think OKC's problem is they play it against themselves because they're a lot younger than the Pacers are. But you still have a chance to course correct yourselves.
Hold on. Right, hold on. This is the word I was looking for. Predictable. They are predictable. You got look. This is it right here. Shea 20 attempts. Jalen Wilson 18 attempts. Chet Holmgren 15 attempts. Now, if you're the defense, you're gonna catch on. Even if you letting them get away in the last three quarters, you're like, hey, we'll let them slide for the first three. The last one, we're gonna clamp up on them because we know exactly what they're gonna do. They don't pass the ball to nobody else. Jalen Williams 0 for 0. Kenrich Williams 0 for 1. Hartenstein 2 for 3. Caruso 2 for 5. Isaiah Joe 2 for 2. Wiggins 0 for 2. They predictable. That is the word that I was looking for, man. And then when you look at the Pacers, 14 shots, 11 shots, 17 shots, 8 shots, 8 shots, 12 shots. That's not predictable. You don't know how they coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you know what I mean? 11 shots. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This is the shit that I'll be trying to say, bro. Like, it's gonna be hard to stop that in a 4-game series that you're trying to win, or a 7-game series or whatnot. It's because you don't know what players is going to look at how they share the minutes. 28 minutes for Obi-Wan.
We gotta Shea facilitate the ball a little bit more too. I think he only had like 4 assists as to where game 2, he had like 8 assists. So we gotta like I say, once they picked that dribble up tonight, man, they were kind of hounding on defense, man. And like I say, I think if we see Shea facilitate the ball a little more and see these guys move without the ball instead of just being stargaze, I think we come out with a little more aggression.
Whoa, you said it. That's the story, bro. They had 16 assists. That's what OKC had. They had chance. They're supposed to be competing for a championship. They got anybody know if you watch basketball, you gotta have more than 16 assists to win the game. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Pacers. They had 24 assists. That's what Shy league average, 25 assists. Not bad. Versus the best defense in the league. They fucking comparing it to you know what I mean? Ironclad Detroit Pistons, whatever the fuck. And I'm just saying, like, the Pacers still putting up over 100 points. Easy work. Like I'm just saying, man. I'm not. Again, I'm watching the game and seeing what's happening. And far as the defensive games, I've seen it between the Celtics and the Knicks. That was a under 100-point game. I've seen it with the Knicks and the Pistons. That was an under 100-point game. And I'm thinking about the wins in with the Thunder and the Pacers. They even though if it's close to 100, it's still over 100. That's the Pacers game. The more points you score, the more you going into the world of the Pacers. Like if you don't get them stops, you finna get cooked. Yo, I don't know, man.
Halliburton
Go ahead, Wolf.
Oh, my fault. No, I was gonna say, especially if Halliburton cooking early, man. I think that's what kind of got them into a rhythm too. Halliburton kind of found his groove early, and
can I just say this
kind of fed off of it.
Can I just say this real quick?
Yeah.
But there's a lot to take away from this series right here, man. But all in all, overarching point, this is beautiful basketball that we watching right now, my nigga. Niggas was shitting on this series before it started, my nigga. This is beautiful basketball that we seeing right here.
I shut it.
Word.
Hey, Breezy, real quick. I get what you saying about the Pacers offense, and their offense is dynamic. But make no mistake about it, bro. They not gonna shoot well every game, my nigga. Like it's not gonna happen.
They gotta do it for 4 games, Notorious.
I'm just
Come
saying,
on, bro. 116. Well, you the best defense in the league. You the best defense in the league, and they got 116 points. And they talking that shit. Defense win championships. I don't know. And if it looked like a combination of both, of course. But my argument is, if it was more of a defensive winning games, it'd be under 100 points. 116 points. I question whether or not y'all playing defense. Like what defense? What defense is y'all playing? They got 116 points in the finals.
Yeah.
They're supposed to if they supposed to be the number one defense for all of this stuff like that, and they supposed to be not more than 110 for sure. 105 it's on a lucky day, on a good day. Nah, man. Nah, the Pacers offense win championships, man. The Pacers giving them work, man. They put in too much pressure. You got Shea
I
celebrating.
disagree.
Jay said it earlier. Yo, Shea celebrating easy.
I
And they
We
disagree.
gonna
running
see
back
what we
on
gonna
the
see what
score the
happened.
ball.
I
We gonna see what
disagree.
happened when those shots not falling. We gonna see.
I
It's gonna be a
think
totally different tone in here.
This game
I,
four is going to
I,
be
I
huge
think I
for
think
both
defense
sides.
wins championships. I think you saw a lot of great adjustments from the Pacers side on the defensive end that
Absolutely.
really helped and supported their way into winning this game. They made a lot of great adjustments on the defensive end. I'm not
Yeah.
just going to credit all to the offensive end.
No, of course, of course.
Yeah,
But
Pacers.
over, what did you think about tonight's game? Easy. What did you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I saw some of the game. I was in and out, but I saw the game. I got a good idea of the game. Yo, this is a great game, man. I mean, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Rick Carlisle, man. The man know how to coach, man. That whole
Facts.
coaching staff know what they're doing, and they made a lot of great adjustments. I mean, there's so many things to peel away from this game and what they did, and then like what OKC did. I don't even know where to start from. Like, there's so much shit. Like, I could go to like Tyrese Halliburton being aggressive from early. Like, that was a great
Facts.
adjustment that they made. Like, yo, you have to make sure you press your issue. Um,
Facts.
Pascal Siakam making sure he taking advantage of the mismatches and the transition mismatches and the defensive mismatches too at the same time. Um,
Right.
the whole team in general, especially shout out to TJ McConnell and Tyrese Halliburton, shooting the
Right.
gaps and making sure they get the ball pressure and the steals. Especially
Yeah.
shout out to TJ McConnell getting five
He
steals,
might get
inbound
some
steals.
sponsors after this, man. He might be on a cereal box or something, man.
Hey,
He
hey,
gonna be a
hey, hey,
household
hey,
name
hey,
after these finals. If he win this championship, he's gonna be a big part of the reason why they win it. Easy for sure.
hey, niggas are saying he probably was the best point guard on this team. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but yo, the man is hooping. Everybody on this court
He
is
hooping.
hooping. I
Yeah.
mean,
Pacers don't
so
win anything without Tyrese, man. He is a key,
I,
whether people want it or not.
but shout out to them for increasing the ball pressure and shooting the gaps and making sure they capitalize off the turnovers. They
All
gave
right.
OKC
So hold
a little dose of their own medicine in a sort of a
easy,
way.
easy. Yo, easy. You know I'm always trying to stir the pot. They was asking earlier, who you think is better, Caruso or TJ?
I will go with Caruso, but I wouldn't be mad if somebody chose TJ.
It really depends on what you're looking for out of that certain perimeter
Yeah,
players
TJ
on
can't
teams.
guard Jokic. TJ can't guard
You
Jokic.
see what I'm saying? But TJ McConnell is a
But
level of
TJ could give you
consistency.
TJ could settle your offense, run your offense, and give your
Mm-hmm.
team a momentum boost that push you
Right.
past Jokic. So I don't even know,
Facts.
like
They're both very solid. If you're looking for offense, you go to TJ. If you're looking for pretty much a lot of everything, you go to Caruso.
the
Like they're both
man just
really
had
good.
5 steals in a finals game. I think all of them came off an inbound pass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Caught him
An
sleeping.
inbound pass, my nigga.
They took it for granted that they could inbound the pass. They took it
But
for
if a
granted.
nigga
TJ
is
didn't.
getting your
He
inbound
taxed them.
pass for 5 times, my nigga, like that is energy on top of hustle right there. So like, shout out
Facts.
to TJ and then make it, and then like at the same time too, that's a defensive adjustment right there. Like we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
press up high on them. We're gonna make sure we pressure them 94 feet. So we're always gonna be right there when they catching the ball. And if we got an energy guy, make sure we challenge the pass at the same time. That's a defensive adjustment right there. Because before they were just letting them catch the ball and let SGA walk the ball up the court. Sometimes now we got to pressure them up. We got to give them what they do to us. And at the
And look,
same time, they got the ball out of Tyrese's hand a little bit, so he didn't have to get pressure all the time. So he could make his moves, without so much pressure and not him holding the rock. And at the same time, they set the pick high, so like they can have more space. It's a lot. I could peel a lot from this game, right? It was a lot.
Yeah.
Beautiful basketball, man. Beautiful basketball. And OKC did a lot. They did a lot on their end, but it was I felt like certain parts of the game, certain players had control of the game, but it was an ebb and flow game in my mind. To me,
Mm-hmm.
And shout out
Yeah,
to the Pacers fans. They were incredible. They were incredible the whole playoff run for the Pacers. Like they are just so engaged from start to finish. The fans.
yeah, I like the fact that, and I agree with the whole defensive thing because I would just say or reiterate it in different words, but I agree with Easy, is the adjustments that they made on defense. But again, the offense stands out. 40 points in the finals versus the best defense in the league. 40 points in the quarter, impressive. Impressive. 32 points in that fourth quarter, impressive. Not to mention it matches the 32 OKC had in the first quarter. So they ended off strong and offensively, that's my whole point. The OKC had nowhere to go. Carlisle outcoached the I forget the guy name, but that
Mark
coach,
Daigneault.
yeah, he outcoached him, bro. He outcoached him, bro. 18 points. That means I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to Shea. You're gonna hope you get to the foul line. You're not home. You're not in the play. In the refs been letting these players play. There's been a lot of physicality between in the playoffs in general. So yeah, man. Pacers in 6, man. Easy.
Oh,
How you calling this? Easy.
you
How,
see, I'm still sticking by what I said. I just want to take the series for what it is. I don't want to put a number on it, but you jumped out the window. Okay, you do your thing, my nigga. I ain't doing that, man. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that right there.
All
Hell
right,
no.
so we're gonna have to agree to disagree, man. But I think more of the panel is saying that the Pacers gonna win it. You got Wu saying
So you
the
saying the
Thunder gonna
Pacers
Yeah,
win
gonna
they.
win the next two
they
games?
know
Is
how
that what's going
they
on?
know how
Like,
we get out after a loss. We don't lose back to back. You know how we get after a loss.
Right, but you only have a
Still got
day's
us at
rest.
16, man.
OKC's had a lot of rest days in between a lot of these series. Now you're playing on the Pacers timeline, which is a day's rest, so that'll be very interesting too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
Hey, but
Days rest. Who you gonna?
on
Yeah,
my fault. I was just gonna say I'm gonna step down, fellas. I appreciate y'all letting me up real quick, man, to kind of
Good having you
evaluate
on, man. Be
and
well.
stress the game.
yeah,
I'm gonna be up here a lot
Yo,
more,
Wu, you
man.
bro.
already know, man.
Appreciate what y'all
Appreciate
got
you, bro.
going on for sure.
Shout
Word.
out to
Thank you,
Wu.
man. Word.
All right.
Word. Shout to
Nah, yeah,
Ice.
but there've been a lot of great things from the series, man. It's a lot going on in the series. Shout out to Indiana. Niggas didn't think they could do it, but here they are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I just want to bring back up that niggas it go under the radar ever since basically I'll say kind of from the All Star break, but I'll say from the New Year's, but like from January, the Pacers
Mm-hmm.
been the second best team in the league, right behind OKC.
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts. We
real
mentioned.
one thing that goes unnoticed, and Boston kind of had this the year when they went to the finals, but like they lost to the Warriors. But one thing that goes unnoticed is momentum, and when you start rolling, when it's time to get rolling, you carry that into the playoffs, and here you are. You know what I'm saying? You feeling good. You know your offense, your defense is clicking. Y'all know what adjustments to make. Y'all could switch in and out. No egos. What's next man up? Whoever needs to step up. To that point, shout out to Ben Mathurin, 27 points off the bench. They couldn't hold that young man. He was clutch in the fucking clutch moments. Yo, man, this team been rolling, my nigga. There's a lot of things to pick up from the series, my nigga. Him getting to the free throw line, bodying up niggas, let them know what it is. Like,
I think it's interesting that there hasn't been this much pressure on the first seed to win an NBA championship, which is a graphic I'm fitting to pull up before we get to the draft.
what?
Um,
Okay, so that's a
the,
lot. That's a lot.
hold on, no, the '69 Celtics is the
So we not
only
going to talk
four.
about the 79, 73 and 9 Warriors that had the all time best record and they made it to the finals. That wasn't more pressure than this little bullshit right here.
No. I'm hear what I'm saying. I'm talking about the fact that the fourth seed won an NBA championship. It only happened one time, and that was '69 Celtics. If the Pacers do it, this would be the second time that the fourth seed won an NBA championship. That's what I'm saying.
That's definitely
So
impressive.
I
that's
think the
that's
seeds necessarily
pressure.
matter in the league that we in right now because there's a lot of great teams. So like they're just like in the West, for example, like you could have a 50-win season and then like you'll be like 6th or 8th in the league. So like, are you an 8th seed team, but you had 50 wins for the season? So ain't no way you about to say I'm the 8th seed team if I had 50 wins. I'm a really great team. I'm gonna go down somewhere. So like, I just think like right now for where we in right now, especially for like where the NBA is, I don't think like the seeds necessarily matter because you could be a great team and just not be as high because there's a lot of great teams along with you. What's up with the talent? What's up with the talent?
Yeah, real talk. But
Like the Miami Heat, Let's just say, for example, real quick, for the Miami Heat, for example, because they was the 8th seed and they made it all the way to the finals. What happened? They beat Denver Nuggets. So we saying like, yo, 8th seed and all type of shit. Like, are they an 8th seed team? Like
nah, I'm saying, I'm trying to have a chat follow the conversation. We've been, having a lot of basketball talk. So, these are NBA championships by playoff seed. I wanted y'all to see the graphics, but in 52 of the 78 NBA finals played, the champion has been one of the two number one seeds that year. That is 66%, 66.7% of the finals. And if you take into account the seeds 1, 2, and 3, they total the 97.4% of the champions. Only 2 titles were won by a team with a 4 seed or higher. We got one right here. We could view it, and we got one right here. Now I know the 6 is Houston Rockets. I know that for sure. But the 4th one right here is the one I was talking about the entire time. As you can see, where's the team? Where's the team?
what was the team that won?
Oh, here you go, Boston Celtics right
It
here.
had to be
See,
an
they beat
old
the
team,
Lakers.
son.
Yeah, it is. It's the 69 Celtics. It's right here.
Oh god damn, the 60 fucking 9.
Right. I did
Wow.
my come on. I do. You know what I mean? Just went to the archives real quick. You know what I'm saying? AKA Google. Now that being said, this is what it is. Now you see they got the paces up here. It say to be determined. To be determined. They got it up here already. Pacers lead 2-1. They are writing history as we speak. This is just a beautiful time to, if you love basketball, this is going to increase fans of the NBA. The fans, you're going to create fans like this. This, like, we are witnessing this, bro. Like, they're going to be having 30 for 30s and from, you know what I'm saying, Sports Center, and you know what I mean, they probably, podcast is going to be part of it, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that we podcasters being part of the media now, having more of a perspective from the actual fans opposed to color, a content, a big personality representing a fan base like a Stephen A or Nick Wright or somebody like that. You feel what I mean? But that being said, shout out to School B, shout to, you know what I mean, shout to the guys. But case in point is, now that we doing a lot of the having our own opinion and perspectives on how we see the game, I think some of these podcasts gonna reach 30 for 30 on Sports Center, where they see, these guys, you know what I'm saying? They knew basketball. Like, who knows, man? Who knows if the Big Fan Easy show might be on Sports Center 30 for 30? I'm just putting that out in the universe. But that being said, again, we be right about a lot of stuff, and we don't necessarily listen to the, you know what I mean, bigger media and what they say. We be listening to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for Lee for a whole hour. He was talking all of that shit.
Still not
You know what
here?
I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm looking for him. Where you at?
Guess what? He had a new leaf epiphany tonight, not like at OKC.
He said,
man said, yo, man, all right, man. You know how many sweeps he predicted that didn't happen? Was there any sweeps other than the Memphis series? Oh, the Miami series. The
Miami, Memphis. There you go.
So I mean, it is what it is. We here for it. We witnessing history, yo. So this is actually a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But if people won't recognize it, and I don't know why, it's so obvious. It's 2 teams that never got an NBA championship competing for one. Like, what's more exciting than that? You know what I mean? Like I'm as a fan that has a team that has 0 championships. I want to see somebody get their first one. Get your first one. Cause I want to feel what it feel like, I guess vicariously until I could feel it by my fan self, pulse or whatever.
You see,
But it's good
I
to
don't
see
know.
fans when how they see their team when they first won.
I don't know. Me personally, if I could pick, I really want to see Jokic win the MVP and the ring this year. That's me personally. I want to see dominance on top of dominance and greatness on top of greatness. Once we have a player that's right there, why hold him back? Especially if he living up to that potential. Now they ain't do it, so fuck that bullshit. But me personally, I want to see him get it. I mean,
Yo,
I hear
I'm
you. I
telling,
hear you with the. I hear you with the. Everybody get it, like you know what I'm saying. Like if it's your first
yeah,
one, like make sure you get it. But like I like greatness, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, that
bro,
nigga great, and he already living up to
bro,
the mantle, and he doing it. He
yeah,
right there, like, yo,
easy,
man.
easy, bro. Ain't nobody taking nothing away from Jokic, bro. He is great, but
But hear
at
me
the
out
same
though.
time,
But
what
hear
about
me out though.
remember? Hold on, easy. Remember that? I just want to say this. It's not about him, bro. It's about you gonna come back next year, right? Brucey Bruce. Like, yeah, fuck that. I'm
No.
taking big pay.
But hear me out though. Hear me out though. Right? Hear me out, cause this is like a bigger picture, right? Cause hear me out though, cause MJ, greatest player of all time, but like, and then like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the most accomplished players, greatest player of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at their accolades and all the shit that they got. If we think about how the league and the NBA is run now, no nigga is ever gonna get up to that level just because how the NBA fucking hates, my nigga. Like it's just plain and simple, my nigga. Like
Mm-hmm.
the man could have got 3 MVPs in a row. They didn't because they're afraid they're gonna put him in bird. Like that's crazy. Like so, like my thing is challenging like the NBA media. Like you're holding niggas back from achieving up to this level when they're deserving of that level, but you're holding them back because
You
you're
think
not
it
giving them
was? You
certain
think
shit.
it? But you think it was hands down? It should have went to Jokic. It looked real debatable between him and Shea.
This year, I mean, you could have gave it to Shea. I mean, you could have gave it to Shea. I'm not mad if you gave it to Shea. I mean, I would have personally gave it to Jokic, but you could have gave it to Shea. But the year when MB won it, he could have got it, and that would have been 3 times. But
Mm-hmm.
narratives played a fucking role
Mm-hmm.
into voting, and then at the same time, it's media voting. So if they hear a narrative that they cling onto, they might just roll with it. And some of them got their opinions. So like the voting might go in from like what February or March, and they got their opinion made up from December. So no matter what I do from December all the way to the end, ain't gonna change your mind. And that's a whole chunk of games right there. So it's like, yo, you holding me back for opinions, and we not paying attention to exactly everything on the court. My thing is, if a nigga is dominant and great like that, let's don't hold them back for certain things like, oh, that guy gotta get it and this guy gotta get it. Nah, man, come on, son. The man is great, bro. What we doing, bro? This the LeBron thing now. LeBron is great. Like, real quick, right? LeBron, he ended up running to get DPOY, right? He damn
Okay.
near 1 or 2. Mark Gasol gets it, right? Cool. You go to all NBA defensive team. This nigga not there. Huh?
Yeah. Now again, they. My thing is easy. You gotta know that I never, as a media personality, a content creator, think I'm bigger than basketball. You know, I'm here because of basketball and my love for basketball. I would never try to be bigger than basketball. But I'm here because of basketball. But that's me acknowledging it. You know what I'm saying? And I think media they get a little crazy with they. You know what I mean? Just trying to do too much, and you don't have to because basketball will love you back, man. You just gotta love basketball. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I just want to say we got through most of the title. We got through the Pacers go up 2-1. We got through the finals game 3 recap. The Pacers bench. Definitely acknowledge the bench. And of course, y'all already know Nets fans is the best fans. You know what I'm saying? That's because the shit that we got going on, you know what I mean? I just want to say thank y'all for, you know what I'm saying, where we at right now. Shit, we had to stick together and we did. We almost at 1,000, and you know that's part of sticking together. You know what I'm saying? We
Hey,
getting more.
Breeze,
Yeah.
I got another topic if after you finish, if you that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah. I wasn't closing out, but I just wanted to thank the fans because this season was trash, and then y'all could have y'all still tapped in when y'all found out we had an 8th pick. Y'all still tapped in. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nets Press for still pushing content. Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets for still pushing content. Shout out to Iceman. You know what I mean? Because he heavy on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Notorious for keeping me. You know what I mean? Abroad about what's going on. I mean, keeping in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Easy for sending me content, keeping me in the loop with certain things in the content that he got on, you know what I'm saying? X, I'm a fan of him too. The guys that y'all see on here, they I'm a fan of these guys too. Shout out to This Is JTV and everything he got going on, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we out here. Shout out to Brad for joining the panel as well. But yeah, man, y'all gotta know Nets fans is the best fans, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got some draft experts up here with Ice and Dylan and the rest of y'all too. Of course, I respect y'all handle, but I know they be really watching college ball. You know what I mean? That's not a pun, I'm sure like that. You know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to hear what y'all had going on with y'all, you know what I'm saying, pushing on the accent and on TikTok. I'm fans of you guys too, man. What's up with y'all, man? What's going on? Y'all hear anything?
I heard
y'all my sources. Ice and Dylan Nets Press are my sources, if y'all were wondering. These are the guys, when I get content, these are the guys that I'm following. Just
listen, I heard the word draft, and I've been rejuvenated. So let's get it. Ice, you want to kick it off? I guess Ice didn't hear. All right, now
I heard you. I was pushing the mic button.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't really hearing too much. You know what I'm saying? Same old things. Fairs. He's still ringing bells every day, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's by far the biggest riser in this year's class.
Yeah,
man.
like his name is like trampling people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only person you really hear. You might hear about Trey or saying Colin Knuckle, but then you see Fairs highlights everywhere, like every day.
Yeah, man, he's promoting him. He's promoting himself really fucking well, man. Like, there's not many guys that will take the time to get. I mean, he's doing 3 workouts a day.
Facts.
And he's just he looks great in every single one of them, man. Like no homo, but this dude literally looks incredible, and he looks to be progressing more and more. He's showcasing.
They call him Hoodie. They call him Hoodie. Hoodie Fairs, right? Yeah, he be wearing a hoodie. I be saying.
Yeah, man. He's got a different breed to him. It's gonna be special for whoever drafts him, but I'm hearing as of right now that there is a deal in the works with Kevin Durant, which could possibly be Brooklyn jumping in as the 3rd team. From who I spoke with a little while ago, earlier today, supposedly it's between Phoenix, San Antonio, and Brooklyn. Again, nothing confirmed. This is just more, he said, she said, just whatever I hear, I like to say sometimes, but
it's sure that he's on the move for sure, though. Everybody know KD
he's getting traded before draft night.
Yeah,
that's already happening.
Facts.
Before draft night.
Before draft.
Before the 25th.
Before draft.
That's the first place of business. Monday morning.
Let me put it this way. I heard that the deal is practically done, and that the league doesn't want it announced because the finals are on. Once the finals are done, like they'll give Indiana the night or OKC the night, whoever ends up winning it. But the day after, that shit should break. That's what I'm hearing.
That's when the fun starts.
Exactly, and
it's probably going to happen like 2 days or 1 day right after the final.
Probably,
not even. As soon as it's over,
the only way that I see it getting confirmed earlier is if this series goes to 6 or 7, which it's looking like it will. So.
Yeah. Even I think the 7th game not even too, like, it's not going to be too close to the draft. So, like, they got time to, like...
No, Game 7, I think, is 3 days before the draft.
For real?
I'm pretty sure the last game is June 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. I'll confirm it real quick, but that's one of the things that I'm hearing.
That's probably because it's a day gap. I believe that is 3 days before.
Let me see.
Yeah.
The 25th.
It should be ice validity.
Yeah, the 22nd is game 7, so the 25th is draft night. So yeah, this could go all the way up until 3 days before the draft, which I actually prefer because it's not like we have anything to fucking look forward to in that 10-day span of nothingness. So might as well drag that shit out. But no,
I'm
I
gonna
heard
be
that.
pushing some content. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's what
I'll
I'm
fucking.
saying. No, that's one thing that I'm hearing. I'm gonna try and get it more confirmed throughout the week, but I would keep an eye on that. And then the other thing that I'm hearing is Houston may not be as aggressive for Kevin Durant as some may think. They're holding on to those picks to try and go after a Devin Booker or a Jaylen Brown for when they become available. And if that's the case, Brooklyn is trying to aggressively move up to 10. Cam Johnson's an option. The 19th pick is an option. That was confirmed by Brian Lewis. He kind of put my hopes and desires.
Houston? Chicago.
No, Houston.
Oh no, Houston.
Brian Lewis kind of put me to shame by mentioning Jabari Smith as probably an unlikely target, which was a guy that I've been wanting. I haven't heard anything about it being realistic or not, but he's a guy that I wanted in that deal. Realistically, though, he mentioned Dylan Brooks in the 10th pick for Cam Johnson in the 19th pick. So I would keep an eye on that as well. But there is genuinely a scenario where Brooklyn could land 2 more picks in the top 15. I know OKC, if they lose this series, could be very big on a Cam Johnson-like player. There's talks about Nick Claxton potentially being offered up in that Phoenix-San Antonio deal to where Brooklyn would get the 14th pick from San Antonio. Claxton would go to Phoenix. So there's multiple avenues where Brooklyn could be looking at, 3 top 14 picks. There is a scenario for that.
If we trade Claxton to get the 14th pick, I hope we get Grayson Allen back and not have to take back anybody else.
Motherfuckers better start talking shit about Claxton if you had to get that.
You have to remember though, Phoenix is a second apron team, so they can't aggregate trades, meaning that they can't ship out more than one person in a trade where they're getting back multiple players. So the deal that I was looking at was Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagny, and the 14th overall pick to Brooklyn. Nick Claxton, Devin Vassell, Brooklyn's 26 overall pick and 36 overall pick, plus a future second and a future first from San Antonio.
You said Devin Vassell. Who you mean?
Yeah, Devin Vassell, Nick Claxton, 2 seconds and 2 firsts. One of the firsts and one of the seconds would be coming from Brooklyn in this year's draft. The Spurs would be giving up like a future second and a future first, and then the Spurs would get KD. So that's a deal that I think could have some possibilities. I don't know if Phoenix wants to take on the Devin Vassell contract, which hopefully they do, because I'd prefer not to take him on. But
you said we get Keldon Johnson, right, as part of the 3-team deal. He only's on a contract for 2 more years, right, Keldon Johnson?
Yeah,
okay, that's not bad. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, $17.5 million for the next 2 years. He could be looked at as like a trade candidate for the deadline, but.
What y'all think about this right here? Like, this is Locked On Nets. Eric Slater, I think. Is this Eric Slater? Let me check. Yeah, this is Eric Slater.
I saw that.
Yeah, it seems something. I see us getting that 14th pick that Dylan just said.
So the thing that you have to remember is
we get Grayson Allen. Oh, we get the 14th pick from
okay. Phoenix wants to add players that are going to make so pretty much what they're doing is they're in a position now where if they don't get back quality players for KD, Booker is likely to request a trade. Because if you can't get anything back for Kevin Durant, you're not going to get anything back for Bradley Beal. And if you're in that position, then what's your best case scenario? You request a trade. It's pretty much the same situation that KD was in Brooklyn, where Kyrie Irving got traded. They were looking for some help. There was talks about Pascal Siakam. They didn't want to give up Nick Claxton. KD, Josai, Sean Marks all came together and just said, it's best for us to move apart. It'll help you. It'll help me. Let's just do it. I think it's going to be a very similar situation.
That just sounds so crazy not giving up Claxton, Dylan. Like, damn.
I know. Yep.
This is not a bad deal either for the Nets. I mean, Grayson Allen's contract is iffy, but you can move that in the future, especially since the Nets have so much assets to work with. And we have to give up 1 pick in this deal to get a pick. I'm all fine with this deal. This is a great deal for us. This is like the perfect middle deal right for that. And that's what Sean Marks has to do. And this is what people don't realize. The Brooklyn Nets are at the center of everything this summer. Big deals for stars, even minor deals. Like, we have power to wield. Use it wisely. Don't be afraid to use it, but let the teams come call on you and you make the wheel the deals. We can make at least 3 to 4 deals this summer, and this would be a huge deal right here. Either this one or the one Dylan just proposed. If you can get that 14th pick, have 2 lottery picks, our summer's off to an epic start. And if you get rid of Claxton, I'm fine with that too.
And not to mention, too, like I said, Houston is a team that's in play to move that 10th overall pick, and they love Cam Johnson. And like I said before, Houston's a team that's waiting on Devin Booker to become available. And if you think for a second, put 2 and 2 together, Cam Johnson played with Devin Booker on the team that they made a championship with. How do you get Devin Booker to want to maybe come to you? Go out and grab a guy that he's got a great relationship with. I mean, if you could build a core in Houston that consists of Amen Thompson, Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, Sengun, and whoever else they can build around that, that's definitely something to be excited about if you're a Houston fan. So something to keep an eye on.
Right. I have one question though about Minnesota. Can they realistically make some type of offer for Kevin Durant? If KD wants to play with Edwards, what would a package like that look like realistically?
I can't see it being realistic because they have Julius Randle and Naz Reid on player options. I don't know if they're trade eligible until they accept those player options. So if
and they said they didn't want to give up J Mac and Naz Reid.
They don't. Yeah, they don't want to give out.
Yeah, they can't make the deal without giving up one of those guys. Like, that's bullshit. They got to get one of them, and whatever they have second picks and Rob Dillingham. That's it. But let's remember, guys, Kevin Durant. He's very specific. He's gonna have huge power here, and if he wants to go to Minnesota with everybody else, then Minnesota has to sacrifice.
They're probably banking on the fact that they know Phoenix got so low.
If he was smart, he would request to go to Miami because the East is weak next year. Right, and at his age, you kind of just want to compete. Realistically, San Antonio has the most opportunity for him to win because of the players that are around him. Not to mention, you're also going to be able to add Dylan Harper to that team. So it makes sense for San Antonio. I've had San Antonio as the front runners for him since literally the trade deadline when his name got brought up. But the secondary team that I think is most realistic is probably Miami. Because, again, Brooklyn could come in to facilitate that deal where Andrew Wiggins, Nikola Jovic end up going to Phoenix. Maybe, say, Derek Whitehead ends up going to Phoenix as well. And then Brooklyn takes on Duncan Robinson's contract. They get the 14th overall pick. There's ways around that works as well. And that also doesn't include Cam Johnson or Claxton. So you would still have those pieces to move on. Whether it be Cam Johnson on draft night to move up again, Nick Claxton in the offseason to add future draft capital. There's ways around a Miami deal that also is very appealing for Brooklyn. So either way, regardless of the team, I think Brooklyn's going to be one of the teams, if not the third team. I'm hearing that this could also be stretched out into a 4-team deal between Phoenix and San Antonio.
But we still in the driver's seat. That's what I care about. I'm glad we in the driver's seat. Hold on, we got Dante. Shout out to Dante Reeves. He on the panel with us. We spoke about a whole lot, Dante Reeves. So I don't know what you necessarily want to talk about, but welcome to the panel. Talk to us, man. What's good with you, bro?
What's good, Breezy? I'm really concerned. I mean, I'm really looking forward to what Brooklyn does in the future in the draft. They got a lot of draft prospects in this upcoming draft, and it's going to be an interesting summer for sure. So whatever moves that Brooklyn does that they do attempt to make, definitely looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you. This is Dylan's top 5 realistic draft picks at number 8 overall. And both examples, Jeremiah Fairs is number 1, and I think that's the general consensus. I really do. I really feel like a lot of fans, they bought in, and the disappointing part is that we're not confident that he's gonna fall at 8. So that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. It's kind of, I got mixed feelings. You know what I mean? But
yeah, based on current draft projections, most still have him between that 6 through 9 range. I mean, I'm seeing people rank him as far. I saw No Ceilings, and No Ceilings is probably one of the best in terms of draft analysis, mock drafts, big boards, the whole 9 yards. They had him going 18 to Washington in their recent one, which I have no clue how they came up with that assessment. But the furthest that I can see Fears falling to at this point in time is probably 10.
Whoever job it was went on vacation, man. That was
That's what
a
I'm saying.
substitute.
Because
He was a substitute, man.
That was a nasty, nasty big board that they put out the other day.
So the big boards are changing though. For some reason, even on Tankathon, they got.
I was gonna say I've seen multiple
That's
mock drafts.
dramatic.
I've seen multiple mock drafts and big boards now that have Rasheer Fleming falling all the way to us at 26 and 27.
Yeah.
And if he's there at those rankings, I mean, you fucking do it. I don't care.
Did you guys hear about the Edgecombe stuff? Apparently, he met with the Philly owners, and Tyrese Maxey flew out personally to talk to him. Apparently, Edgecombe is rising up in the Philly rankings. There's a chance Ace might fall.
He's now the betting odds favorite to go number 3. He was originally a plus 170 just a couple of days ago. Ace was a plus 105, meaning that he was the slight favorite. Ace is now a plus 230, and Edgecombe's now a minus 115.
Yeah, they said that Daryl Morey, VJ matches Daryl Morey's analytics as a player that he would like to pick up, and that's why.
Logically, it makes sense for them though, because they're still in contention mode with their stars healthy, right?
This shit is hilarious.
So Edgecombe still makes sense for them because he's a more two-way player and ready to go now.
Why you say that notorious? Why you say it's hilarious?
Just a couple episodes, we was in here talking about VJ, we was talking about Trey, and everybody was like, nah, VJ, Trey is better. He's a 3-level scorer. I don't know. I think Trey is going to get picked before VJ. I think VJ is going to slip a little bit. And I did see that story. I saw that story on Twitter, too, about Philly being very high on VJ. And now everybody switching their tone since these stories came out about Philly meeting with VJ. Now he went from being probably picked 4th or 5th to probably being picked 3rd.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say though. The one thing that I will say, though, is you also have to remember who's Philly's owner, right? Daryl Morey is a dick, and he'll smokescreen the shit out of things to get what he wants. Realistically, if they don't feel Ace is the option for them, they may be building up this whole we're going to take VJ thing to maybe pressure Charlotte into worrying about who, may trade up with Philly, because I think Philly's going to trade back. Because if Philly trades back for a team that wants Edgecombe, that likely puts Charlotte in a scenario where they're going to have to trade back. I don't see them taking Malawak at 4. I don't see them taking Kneppel at 4. At that point, maybe you're looking at one of Brooklyn or New Orleans to potentially move up, maybe Washington to move up for a guy like Ace or Jeremiah Fears. Because people also have to remember, too, and this is a big problem going around Nets fans specifically, you can't base selecting a player at a specific spot in the draft based on big boards and projections. If Carter Bryant's ranked 12th on most big boards and mock drafts and you select him at 8, that is not a reach. If that player is the guy that you want, it does not matter if it is 3 spots ahead of his projection, a spot after his projection, or 6 spots before his projection. Noah Clowney was ranked to be a early to mid-second round pick, and the Nets took him at 21, right? He's been solid for us. If you like a guy, you take him. So for people that I see seeing comments that are saying, "Oh, Carter Bryant at 8's horrible," like you can get him at 10 or 11. There's no difference.
I feel the same way about Jeremiah Fears. I mean, everybody listen. Then if the Nets are high on him, they need to find a way to move up to select him, because I feel like it's a high possibility that he's not going to be there by the time we get the pick. So if listen, Jeremiah Fears can be a generational point guard for your franchise, can be a franchise point guard. You do what it takes to move up. Whether we package the late first round picks to move up a couple of spots to ensure that we get him.
No, 100%. The biggest problem with moving up right now is Washington and Utah are the 2 teams ahead of us with multiple draft picks in this class, right? New Orleans only has 1. Charlotte has only 1 first round pick. They have 2 seconds. So likely Washington and Utah will not want to take more picks in this year's draft, which means that Brooklyn will have to chip into their future draft capital, which I'm all for. I don't mind sending out pick 8 and a future first. Say it's the next 2027 pick. If you really want to move up to 5 with Utah and get Jeremiah Fears, I don't mind doing that. But I think at this current point in time, the VJ Edgecombe and Philly conversation is a smokescreen for Philly to raise up the price of the 3rd overall pick. Same thing for New Orleans. New Orleans is throwing out smoke screens left and right that they love Jeremiah Fears, but it doesn't make sense for their team. They have DeJounte Murray who will come back. They have Trey Murphy who can play the 2 or the 3. They have Herb, as of right now at least, who can play the 3 or the 4. They have Zion. At this point in time, they need a center. So you're thinking Queen or Malawak at 7 is certain. And even if they do decide to go with a 2 guard to replace CJ McCollum, Con Kneppel is the guy that they probably would look at. So Jeremiah Fears to me and New Orleans doesn't make sense. And I think that's a smokescreen to try and have Brooklyn trade up. So this way, Brooklyn, who is eyeing a guy like Con Kneppel, Jeremiah Fears, they go out and grab the guy that they want, leaving a guy like maybe Con Kneppel, Trey Johnson, or one of those 2 guards or centers to fall to 7. That's my personal take.
So what about the Wizards in Utah picking Fears? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think Washington's going to end up with Trey Johnson. In all honesty, I think Utah is the only threat for Jeremiah Fears, which again I don't understand because they have Keontae George and they have Isaiah Collier. It doesn't make sense for them to go point guard. To me, they're actually the team. Shit. So here's how I see the top 8 going as of right now. I see Flag going 1, Harper going 2. I can see. Let's just say there's no trades. I can see Edgecombe going 3. I can see probably. Let's just say Ace at 3, VJ at 4 to Charlotte. Utah at 5, I could see somebody like Trey Johnson going. Washington at 6, I could see Malawak. And then New Orleans at 7, I could see Kneppel or Queen. Just based on team need, right? Because there's a difference between a team selecting for need, a team selecting for best available, but there's also this thing called best available fit, right, and team need. Realistically, Jeremiah Fears is the best available fit and prospect on the board at 8 if Brooklyn's able to get him at 8. Same thing for other teams in need of certain positions, but also in need of the best player available. Like Malawak's the best center available. Why would a team like Washington or New Orleans not take him?
No, it makes sense for them to take him. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm just really anxious. I don't know how this fitting to play out, but I do know that. Yeah, I do know that Fizz being part of this team, I could only see somebody like a Jordy Fernandez, who I speak highly of. I think he does well with point guards. I think he could make Fizz a star.
Did you see what Mike Miller said about him?
Oh yeah, you gave him high praise.
Yeah,
he said all-star in 3
years.
He
thinks he's going to be an all-star in a couple of years.
He has that possibility. He's got a very Westbrook Shaw-like game.
It looks like he's getting a game shape right now.
What you say, Ice? What Ice say?
He said he'll probably be a star before 3 years is up, bro.
Wow. So it sounds like Jalen Williams.
He also said that he trained a lot of players, and is a few that really came across with that work ethic, not only the work ethic, but the skills and intangibles, like the total package. Like he gave him real high praise. Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, he's putting
Mike Miller worked with Paulo Banchero. So if he's saying that, then that is high regard, being that Paulo is already.
It's credible. That means it's credible.
Yeah, exactly. So
who else workouts have y'all seen online? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen one of Ace's workouts. I seen Carter Bryant and them, but Bears is nonstop. Like his workouts don't ever stop showing up.
Man, Jordan looks built.
He looks built too. Like, obviously not like. He doesn't look bigger as opposed in terms of size, but in terms of muscle, he looks like he put on way more muscle than before. I think he's gonna fill out just fine once he gets to
once he gets to the league. And he might still be growing. He might not be 6'4" by the time he's 20 years old. He
Have
might
y'all
be
seen?
6'5".
Yo,
Have y'all
Brooklyn
seen pictures
LF,
of
thank you for
Barber?
the CT highlights early on X, man. Appreciate them
Oh,
CT highlights, man.
You see, LM, you feeding the
I
problem. You
got you.
feeding the problem, bro. You are feeding the problem, bro.
Nah, go ahead, Ice. Go ahead, Ice. Go ahead, Ice.
No, I was asking
Yo,
if you
easy
seen
doesn't
the
stop.
pictures with his father. His father's a good, like his father looked like he's about 6'5", and he's built too. And I think his father was hooping before in college. So like LM said, he could grow like another inch or something, and he could put on some weight.
To
Yeah,
me,
nah, yeah.
I feel like it's only two generational point guards or two guys that I could see being all stars. Not saying that it's not other guys that could be good point guards, but to me, it's Dylan Harper, Fairs, and then everybody else. I feel we ain't gonna get Harper, but I feel we have it. We can get Fairs. I think that's feasible, but
Right.
the Nets just got to be aggressive, man.
Right, and I would say this: if you do miss out on Fears, you have to choose between Maliwak, Bryan, or Senge. You can trade up for Igor Demon. It is very possible you could trade up and get him if you don't get Fears. So the Nets have so many routes to play this right. They just have to make sure if Plan A don't work, I got Plan B ready to go. Like 5 minutes after the selection is made, they have to be ready to strike. You
So hold
cannot
on,
mess up.
hold on. I just want to say this. As of now, with the Pacers, it's fair to say that we watching a team win by committee, right?
Yeah,
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 All
fine.
right. So
definitely.
so to make my point, you got the Wizards in front of us. They invested in trying to win with a star and Wall. It didn't work. With Gilbert, it didn't work. Case in point is anytime they try to invest in the star, any franchise in front of us that tried to invest in the star and build from there, and it didn't work, they should be talking to us. So that way we can move in the draft and invest in the star, and they could try to get extra draft picks in the first round. Maybe that's what, you know what I'm saying? We should switch it up
reverse
because
things out.
everybody don't have the same formula for building the championship roster. There's no copy and paste. It's like it's really styles win fights, if you ask me. You
That's
know what
why
I'm
I
saying?
feel like. That's why I feel like high key San Antonio should move down. Because if the rumors is true and they are getting Kevin Durant, it doesn't make it doesn't make sense to have Dylan. Like you already have Castle, you already got De'Aaron. If you're gonna add KD in that mixture, I don't think there's any space for Dylan on that team. Like
But
I
but
really don't.
what about just the mentorship and him staying around Wemby? You feel what I mean? It could be a good for the long run if there's some validity to that trade rumor. Hello?
I
Do
mean,
you want it to happen? Do you want it to happen?
I personally say no. I think we already got our point. If you're looking to get off De'Aaron, I guess that makes sense if you still get Harper. But realistically, I think you already got your guard of the future in Castle and De'Aaron, especially if you're gonna think of
Yeah,
re-signing him.
it's
I
Who
no
would
just
you
rumor
think it
who
mill.
would
doesn't
you
really make
draft then,
sense for you to it
LM?
just huh?
Who would you draft then for the Spurs? Like, let's say they don't want to get Dylan Harper. Let's say they do something crazy. Who would you draft then for the Spurs? You don't have to give up your second pick to get KD. Who would you
I
draft?
they need a wing. So if I'm them, you need a wing and you need a guy that's a shooter and does the little things. I would try to see if I can get Knuckle.
Whoa.
You need he kind of fits that mold. They already got their guy in terms of Wemby. Sohan is not a shooter like that. If you're gonna put him at the four, he's mostly there for defense. So it's not like
That
you
kind of
can
makes
rely
sense
on him
though.
for flakes for freaking floor
That LM,
spacing.
that kind of makes sense. I know we talk about always drafting the best talent, but listen, man, when you got a team with Wemby and KD and Fox on it, you already got talent. So if you pick a guy like Knipple, who's a shooter, who's a wing, who can go in there and fill a role in that championship, a piece in that championship contender, it makes sense.
Are you guys
You know
talking
what
about
I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Knepple at
If
two?
you
That's
No, I'm
wild.
talking
Listen,
about
listen.
San
That's pretty
Antonio
wild.
trade. If San Antonio trades off two to move down, I feel like Canuck would be a good pick for them.
Oh, 100%.
If you get K,
I
if you
spoke
get
with
KD, you could put KD at the 4, put Knuckle at the 3. Then you're
I spoke
rocking
with
with that.
I spoke with a Spurs reporter on our podcast not too long ago, and he mentioned that the Spurs love Concanepple, that they want to try and find a way to get him. But
which podcast? Let them know what podcast.
a couple of weeks ago with
No,
Dustin
I
Garza.
know. I'm talking about just shout your podcast.
BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Yeah, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 episodes ago now, but yeah, no, he mentioned that the Spurs are incredibly interested in Concanepple and that they would love to try and find a way to add him, but realistically, I think the only way they would have moved off of 2 is if Giannis was available, and if he's not, at that point, what are you really trading it for when you can just draft Dylan Harper and use one of either him or Stephon Castle in a package later on for a superstar? You know, I think it kind of holds a little bit more weight to grab one of them. But I mean,
they were saying
True.
KD to the Spurs is a done deal. They just waiting for draft week.
Yeah,
But
no,
my thing is,
I said that.
even if you get off, like, even if you, to me, even that could be a thing. But if all the Sun, I mean, if it depends on the Sun's asking price. But if all you asking for is Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan and a couple of picks, I mean, for Kevin Durant, I mean, I'll do that.
You heard what the Sun said today? They want the equivalent of what we got for Kevin Durant. I'm like,
Do you think they lowered
stop.
Good luck with that.
37-year-old Kevin Durant on a 1-year deal? Get out of here.
No, they lowered the price for it. That's what they were saying at first, but you know what I'm saying? They changed their minds about that.
Like, they ain't getting no 4 picks and 2 rotational pieces. Be lucky if you get 2 rotational pieces and 2 picks. Like, they're not getting that equivalent. And I think the Spurs are their best chance right now, because at least the Spurs could give you young rotational guys with Booker, and they have the assets. Like, if they go any lower than that, that's their fault.
The only way for Phoenix to get out of the situation that they're in is for when Devin Booker requests a trade. They'll get all their picks back from Houston. You know, they'll be able to figure it out that way.
I ain't gonna lie. That's sad.
Yeah, no, it's
I mean, but Booker was there for how long? Booker was there for how long?
Booker's been there since 2015.
Booker's extension eligible. If you look at the
It's-
situation of Booker compared to when KD signed his extension, it's very, very similar. KD signed his extension in Brooklyn. Kyrie and Harden didn't. Year after, Harden gets traded the year that he signs his extension, and then the year after Kyrie gets traded. They tried to build a team around KD through the trade market. They weren't able to, and they moved on. It's going to be very similar. They're going to get something back in return for KD. It's not going to be enough. They're going to try and move Beal. They're not going to get anything, and then Booker's probably going to ask out. I don't know if it's going to be this offseason or next, but regardless, Booker's likely to get out of there at some point. It's going to help both of them.
They got to buy out Beal, man.
That organization is in the shitter, man.
Yeah, because they have the worst owner in basketball.
Yeah,
Literally.
Hold on. I want to
knew he was
continue
gonna
this.
fuck that team up because he was too anxious and too aggressive off rip.
Well, it's not even that. He just doesn't understand the format of how to be an owner. An owner is not a GM. An owner is there to build up the brand and make money, not to make deals and make rosters. That's not how owners are supposed
He's
to
smiling, shaking hands like he's trying to run for mayor.
Yeah.
Like, calm your ass down. Like, but hold on, y'all. If any of y'all go live right now, I'm gonna jump in the chat. I gotta get up early in the morning, so I'm gonna end the show. Coincidentally, it's around the clip time, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta shout out Brooklyn LM. This is JTV, Easy E, Netorious, the Eskimo Iceman, heavy on TikTok. You gotta know that. Bra, Nets Press, Dylan, everything Brooklyn Nets, John, and me, of course. Please subscribe to the page. Creme de la Creme, Run Tell a Nets fan friend. We almost at June 25th. Mama. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. And thank y'all for, you know what I mean, sticking together. You know what I'm saying? Really important that Nets fans stick together in a time like this. You know what I'm saying? Times like this, I rhyme like this. But yeah, shout out to all of y'all. And I implore you guys to watch the shorts. All you guys are on it. Everybody, or the AI gets all of y'all. So I'll try to do better and sharing it to y'all on X. Look for the the shorts that you guys are in specifically. I'll share it to you guys specifically on X. A lot of good content, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Allen
Shout out to Ice
Iverson
and
know how to dish that rock, man.
something like that. Something like that.
Man, I didn't even get to ask my questions, but it's all good. We good.
What's your if y'all want a
We
part
got
two,
some time,
I
like.
probably could do a half hour. If y'all
Get
want a
some
part two,
time.
what's the question?
No,
What's the question?
no, I
What's the
just
question?
wanted to get into two questions I had.
It's
How you
only
feel
50 seconds.
how you
Yo,
feel about the
Jay,
how you
go
We're
ahead.
gonna have to get 1 second answers.
Go ahead.
yeah, how
What's
you
the
feel
question?
about the Knicks coaching debacle right now?
Hilarious.
And
Oh
what's the
man,
second question? What's the second question? What's the second
And how
question?
you felt
All the
about
other teams said,
this
fuck no.
how you felt about
Right.
the Nets Coogee jerseys coming back?
The Coogee jerseys. I'm gonna do a part
Hilarious,
It was
two.
great.
fire because I don't got to
Hold
get a
on.
new one.
Right, I'm gonna do a part two for a half hour just for that. Oh look, I'm gonna do a part two, and that's word up. I'm gonna do a part two right now. It's only gonna be. I'm not doing another 2 hours. I promise you that.
I just